Hi folks, I'm Gary Dunshoe with Big Bend Saddlery, and this month's Tack Tip, I want to talk a little bit about some of the things that can cause a sore spot or an injury over a horse's kidney. And one of the main things that causes that is the length of the bar back there. And we're talking about the length of the bar behind the cantle, where it comes out there. If you put your ruler right up against the cantle, where the end of the bar is right here, should be 3 inches. You don't want it much longer than that. You don't want it much shorter than that. Either one of them can kind of be detrimental. But the way you can tell on a saddle if you suspect that it's not the right length, get you a ruler like this, a wooden ruler, and drop down about 3 inches from the center of where the skirts join together and push it in there, and it'll just come to a sudden stop in there, and that means it's hit the bar. Well, then put your finger on the ruler right up against your rear housing, then take it out and overlay it on the top, and that tells you the length of the bar here. This one's about 2 1/4 inches. Sticks out about 2 1/4 inches in the back. Sometimes that works great if the person rides correctly and is not a real big person. But if you put a real big guy on there and you have 2 or 2.5 inch bars and then put him on a short backed horse, chances are he's going to sore his kidneys up. Another thing you want to look for is, we've all seen horses that ride over their kidneys. All the hair gets shaved off there, and it can work into a sore if it keeps on going on, and that can be caused by the skirts being too long. Put your ruler up against the back of the cantle, and 6 inches is a good length for it. Much longer than that and it can rub, and shorter doesn't matter, but longer does matter. The other 2 things that you've got to be careful about are this braiding. The braiding looks real pretty, and if you're going to braid the skirts together, that's fine, but you need to get some lift underneath here. And what we mean by lift is whenever the maker is blocking these skirts in, he puts the skirts up here without the wool or anything, and they're wet, they're cased real good, and he takes a hammer and hammers it up to where the skirt is level with the bar here. And you do that in here. You do a real good job here. It's probably more important here than anywhere else on the saddle. Well, that's called a lift, and that gets the skirt coming up in this area instead of just coming straight across. Whenever you get that lift in there, then you can go ahead and braid these skirts together if you want, because the lace is up above where it's going to rub. If you don't get that lift in there, then this braiding is right down on a horse's back. The skirts are laced together there, they can't give any, and it'll just rub on a horse's back. So if it's inclined to do that, you want to be sure that your skirts either are not braided together, and that's fine. You don't have to get any lift if they're not braided together. But if they are, you sure want to have some lift. And you can run your hand under a saddle, you'll feel the bar, and then when your hand comes over off the bar in this area, it should go up about 1/2 or 5/8 of an inch up higher, and that's called a lift. And it doesn't much matter how much braiding or how thick it is right there if you have that lift in there. But that's just a couple of things that you can look for if you do have problems like that, or whenever you're buying a new saddle or whatever. But I hope that helps a little bit, and let us know if there's anything you'd like to know about, or if we can help in any other way. Thanks for watching.